What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to the Dray Way Report. I'm glad you're here. We've got a really good show for you today. Yesterday's show, you guys turned out in big numbers. Hopefully you'll enjoy this show as well. But just know this, on this show, you're going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me. So let's get the show started. What do you say? Let's get going. Let's go! Welcome to the Dray Way. Let's talk about the disaster that has taken place right now. There is literally a disaster going on in Florida, in beach towns all around Florida. In beach towns all around Florida, business is down 30%. In the summertime, down 30%. That does not speak well for what's going to happen this winter. This winter could be absolutely devastating. And it could be devastating because people aren't traveling. People aren't traveling here. And Canadians are very, very important to the Florida economy. And guess what? They have made it very clear they're not coming. They're not coming to Florida. And Florida has already all around Florida has been devastated. The Fort Myers area, southwest of Florida, is still hurting from hurricanes. It still looks like in certain areas a complete battle zone. And it just doesn't look like Florida is taking the necessary steps to bring back tourism anyway. So I think this winter is going to be absolutely devastating. I think this summer was just a prelude of things to come. Down 30%. That doesn't sound devastating because everybody goes, well, it's summertime, Florida. You know, but summertime is an important time in Florida too because kids are off school. Kids are off. People want to travel to Florida. People want to enjoy their kids down in Florida. But that didn't happen this summer. Down 30% is bad. And a lot of the marketplaces to even try to bring things back aren't even open yet. Because Florida has not done what is necessary to bring it back from those hurricanes. It hasn't done it. It has done a very poor job. And now these towns which are in many cases the backbone to the areas. I mean, it's literally where people work and go and make money and prosper. And it's where people live where they live because of that beach community. But all around, especially the west coast of Florida, the beach community is gone. It's been devastated. And now you're talking about what are the numbers going to be this winter for Florida? You're talking about being down 30, 40% in the wintertime. That is catastrophic. That'll mean the closing of businesses left and right. And already in the Naples area, there's the closure of restaurants, the travel, down, and all the way up the west coast of Florida. Tampa has been hugely affected, and it's only going to get worse. It isn't going to get any better. And it's not going to get any better because Florida has not concentrated resources to building those areas back, to bringing those areas back to what people expect. So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think it's going to be like down there this winter? It's going to be devastating not to have the people. The lack of people, the lack of money, more closing businesses, and it's a cycle. Because if there's no jobs down there, what are you doing down there? Everybody can't afford to retire down in Florida. Some people have to work down there. But if there's no jobs, then what? Then you leave. And then there's more properties for sale. And the properties for sale just keep mounting higher and higher and higher. And what is anybody doing about it? What's the governor doing? Nothing. The governor's not doing anything. You know what the governor's doing? He's claiming to build prisons in 8 days for $600 million. Sure. I'm sure you spent $600 million in 8 days. Sure you did. We believe you. But how much of that money could have gone towards rebuilding the west coast of Florida and bringing back the entertainment, bringing back the stores, bringing back... Wouldn't that money have been a lot more effective on the west coast of Florida? Can you imagine what a $600 million investment would have done all along the west coast of Florida? The economic boom it could have brought, significant. But instead, you know what they did? The governor focused on what? He focused on building a prison in the middle of nowhere. I don't see how that benefits Florida in the long term at all. And we're about to see the devastation this year. What's going to happen this winter? You're going to see down 30 to 40%. And you're talking about during the wintertime, that's billions and billions of dollars. And you extract billions and billions of dollars out of the Florida economy, and what do you have? You have big, big problems. And that's what I see all around Florida, because these hurricanes have done significant damage. And home prices, all Cape Coral, Fort Myers, that whole area, real estate is doing nothing but going down, even all the way up to Sarasota, Florida. Tampa, prices going down, going down, going down, going down. And now you multiply that by having a lousy winter season, and you're talking about a situation that could go from dire to worse. And that's what's going on in Florida right now. That's what's taking place right now in Florida. We've already seen this summer be horrifically bad and businesses just closing their doors. But the winter time, and we're coming up on it pretty quick. Starting in October, people will be heading down. October, November, December, January. These are 4 key months for Florida. And it's going to be a disaster. And we already know it's going to be a disaster because people aren't traveling here. We've already seen it in Vegas, and now we're about to see it big time in Florida. And all those people in Canada, yeah, the hundreds and hundreds of thousands that would come down to go to Florida, I can tell you right now, they ain't coming. They ain't making that trip. And a lot of them aren't coming back, period. A lot of them are selling their properties and going, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. That is the damage that Donald Trump is doing right now. And a red state like Florida is about to find out. Keep voting red and see what happens. See what happens to yourself. Because you're about to, from a business standpoint, you're about to be devastated. And once again, the lead culprit is Canada sending a message that, you need us as much as we need you. Don't ever forget it. And that's why, why we forget to be appreciative of those people in Canada, I have no idea. I have no idea. Canada is such a good friend to us, always has been. And for us to treat Canadians anything other than top notch is a crime in itself. Because every time I go to Canada, the people are the kindest, most amazing people. And we are missing out, folks. I can tell you right now, one of the best things about America is that we bring in people from all over the world. And one of the best people to bring in are Canadians. I've dealt with them my entire life. I used to live on Put-in-Bay Island up in Lake Erie. I was a stone throw away from Canada all the time. We used to cross the lake and go into Canada all the time. And the people were always great with me. I was a kid, and I used to get there and get free candy, and oh my God, Canadians were the best. And I've always felt that way. And I don't know, Florida. You're about to find out big time what you did. And it's coming. Let me know what you think is going to happen in Florida. I want to hear your opinion. What do you think this winter is going to be like in Florida with Canadians staying home? Don't go anywhere. Part 2 to the Dray Way coming up next. Gavin Newsom is the best. I know a lot of you don't know a lot about Gavin Newsom, but this much I do know. If you haven't seen the Jesus things and the car, he is mocking Donald Trump. I don't know who's doing his social media, but whoever is doing the social media for Gavin Newsom, you are spot on. You are spot on. You are spot on. And the beautiful part about it is Gavin Newsom is a lot taller, a lot better looking, and a lot younger than a frumpy old Donald Trump. And Donald Trump just looks like a frumpy old man. And Gavin Newsom looks like the new hipster, the new cool cat, the new good guy. I just absolutely love it. Because as I've always said my entire life, nothing is good or bad except by comparison. And when you compare Gavin Newsom to Donald Trump, I love that comparison all day. Because one is experienced, intelligent, and smart, and the other one is just a complete dipshit. I mean, a complete, total fraudster dipshit. And we all know who that is. And he paints himself orange. Why don't people bring up, dude, why are you painting yourself orange? You look really weird. But no one even mentions it. No one even says anything. No, everybody just pretends like you don't see. He's orange. Why, dude? Why are you painting yourself orange? You look ridiculous. Why doesn't someone tell him to stop? You know, you're old, you're fat, you're orange, and you wear a diaper. What? And for some of you, I guess that's your hero. Oh, yeah, Donald Trump is my... What? But just the way that all this social media stuff is coming out and the way that they are doing it and the fact that they are on the attack, that is the part that I absolutely love. You know, Republicans don't play fair and they don't care. They understand it's just about winning, period. It's just about winning. How do you think they got more seats on the Supreme Court? They just cheated and they don't care. Obama, you're not going to get your guy. No, we're going to wait. We're going to wait for the next president. You're not going to get your pick. Nope. And we're not even going to talk to him. We're not even going to see him. So that tells you right there that future presidents, if you're a Democratic president, under no circumstances do you let a Republican Senate pick anything, or a Republican president pick anything. You know, if you have a Democratic Senate, you don't let a Republican president pick a thing. You don't do it. And I hate to say it, but, you know, it's about time you start playing fire with fire. And that's exactly what Gavin Newsom's like. I'm going to take the fight to him right now. I'm going to take the fight to him now because I'm not going to wait to the end and get people used to who I am at the very end. I'm going to let people know who I am right now. And that's the part that I absolutely love. Take the fight to him right now. Because this whole thing, just so you understand, this whole thing that's going on with the military in D.C., all that is a prelim to doing that in cities across the country during voting time. All they want to do is affect voting in cities which are heavily Democrats in droves vote in those cities. So how do you affect voting? Send out the military. Send out the military, the National Guard, and try to scare voters. That's what this whole thing is about, is learning what to do and how to do it so that you can scare people into not voting. That's all this is, folks. Because they know without a doubt that they have been horrible, that they're going to lose the midterms, and they don't even care that they're going to lose the midterms. Donald Trump cares, but Republicans don't care because they got their tax cut. So they're good. So they can go back to their thing and say, hey, yeah, at least let me win my seat back. But let me tell you something. A lot of you are not going to win your seat back. Because a lot of independents, even some Republicans are like, yeah, no, this is not. Even if it's only 2 or 3% Republicans going, yeah, this isn't the United States. This isn't, you know, I'm voting for America. I'm not voting for this party that doesn't represent me at all anymore. There's going to be a lot of that in the midterms. because Republicans are going to get smoked in the midterms. And I mean smoked. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think. I can't wait to see it. Welcome to the Dray Way Report. I am glad you are here. Hit the subscribe button and don't go anywhere. Part 3 to the Dray Way coming up next. Yeah, as you know, I've been talking about several stocks, and I told you that we're going to get into those stocks. I'm going to make that the middle part of the show. We'll go into it quite a bit because I want people to understand I'm not really talking about real estate anymore. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about because you have no business buying a house right now. I wouldn't do it. I don't care where you are. I wouldn't do it. Now is not the time to be buying anything. Prices are still too high and interest rates are still too high. And there is a much better deal in all likelihood, a much, 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 much better deal to rent right now. The whole owning thing has turned into this huge scam where people just end up paying a lot more money than they ever planned on. They buy a new house, they think their payment's going to be this, then it gets assessed, and then their taxes go way, way up, and all of a sudden their $2,200 payment is now $3,000. Now is not the time to buy. It's not going to be time to buy this year, next year, the year after that. So I really don't want to talk about real estate because there's nothing really to talk about. It's going to go down for the next 3 years in most of the country. So what's to talk about? What I do enjoy talking about, having been a former stockbroker, is I enjoy talking about stocks. And you're going to notice when I talk about stocks, I don't talk about 17,000 of them. I don't care. What I care about is the handful of stocks that I've researched and that I believe are the top in their field. They're the very best at what they do. And I like investing in companies that they're the very best at what they do, like Costco. I've been a long-time holder of Costco stock because I think they're the very best at what they do. I've been holding DoorDash for quite a while because, again, I think they're the best at what they do. I've been invested for years in Netflix because, once again, I think they're the very best at what they do. And you're going to notice that a lot of the stocks that I suggest or that I think you should be involved in, they're at the top of what they do. They're one of the best. And that's where you have to stick as a stock picker. Yeah, everybody likes to throw, hey, what about this name? And what about that name? And, there's 17,000 some odd stocks to choose from. But I choose to know about a handful of them. 20 to 30 stocks that I think consistently are going to grow and do what they do because they're the best at what they do. I'm not a big believer in the leadership at Meta, but Meta is a profit machine. If you don't mind looking at Meta just for the profit, it's hard not to have Meta because Meta consistently growth. And in social media, where it continues to grow, social media is the place to be right now and continues to be the place to be. And we'll talk a lot more about that in upcoming shows. Thanks for joining me today. A new Dray Way each and every day, folks. Every day there's a new Dray Way, and I hope you're here. The Dray Way Report, signing off. Have a great day, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you right here tomorrow on the Dray Way Report. Have a great day, everybody.
Watch this. I can do it. Let's go!
No, good. He does it better. Much better.